What is up, internet? I am the biggest bird in the verse, FC, aka Fried Chicken. But over here, I go by Big Bird. Today, I want to talk about Marathon and why I think it's a good game. We're going to go over a couple key points that is important about how this game is divided into community in general, about why it's so good and why people think it's so bad. Let's jump right into it. So right off the rip, when I first hopped into the game, I thought it was going to be just your generic looter, shooter, BR, extraction shooter. That was my first impressions. But after I put some time into the game, getting out of the beginner area, moving on to Dire Marsh to the Outpost, I realized that there is so much more to this game and how the game distributes information to you. So a lot of people are arguing that the game is not intuitive at all and that it's hard to understand what you got to do. This is a perfect example of hand holding in the video game space. This game does not hold your hand. A lot of people need to have that yellow paint, the green lights to direct you where you need to go. This game makes you read. And as we all know, in America, the average reading level for an adult is a sixth grade reading level, which is poor. So people are running into the game. I ran in with plenty of squads while I was playing, and they had no idea what to do. And I was talking to them in chat, like, hey, are you gonna do your mission? Do you know what to do? They're like, no, I don't know. I'm like, well, did you read your mission dossier? It tells you what you gotta do and where you gotta go. I posted a video on one of these particular missions, and the comments in the video, people were talking about, hey, I didn't know how to go there, because it tells you to go to the South Relay, and it tells you in the mission dossier to go to a location south of the South Relay. A lot of folks didn't know where that was at. And so the game doesn't hold your hand. So it really does divide people, because a lot of people have gotten used to the yellow paint and the green lights, or having NPC side characters on the side talking to you as you're trying to progress through whatever you got to do. That's one of the first key points I actually enjoyed, because it made me feel like I actually had a sense of exploration when I was playing the game. Not having my handheld was very important, especially in a game like this. And then let's move along to something else, and that would be the elements of this game. It advertises itself as an extraction shooter, looter shooter with some BR elements. I don't feel like this game is any of those. I feel like it's a roguelike RPG almost. There's a story to everything that you're doing. When you go out there into the world, your objective is not to loot everything and then kill everything. It is to work with the corporations that you're faction with. Right. As you progress to the story, you unlock more passives and more abilities with the corporations that you're siding up with. I found myself several times running in with just the basic kit and then just doing my objective and then exfilling out. Sometimes without even seeing another player, just trying to make sure that my mission tree was complete. I was doing Traxxas majority of the time because they had really cool items that I wanted. I realized shortly after getting out of the perimeter going to Dire Marsh that these missions were very simple and very easy, and once you complete them, you were able to unlock passive abilities and also able to buy things in the store. In the server smash, the currency given to us was very generous, so I never felt like I really had anything lost whenever I died out there into the world by another player or by a bot. I felt like I was always in control of my inventory and I knew what I had, because I had enough credits to go buy a kit if I really needed a better run kit setup. If I want to go out there and be locked and loaded full tack mode versus just rocking the free kit that you would get. Now, when it comes to gameplay and gunplay, let me just say that this feels like a love child for Bungie. It felt like Bungie actually wanted to make this game without Sony putting the pressure behind them to make just a live service game. This feels like a mixture between Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Destiny 2 when it comes to the overall gameplay. So movement felt like Halo, or Halo Reach if you will, and gunplay felt like Destiny, which is not a bad thing. It felt comfortable. I was able to pick it up real quickly with keyboard and mouse. It took me no time at all to pick it up and understand what I had to do when it comes to the keybinds and key controls. Only thing I didn't like was the crouch button. I ended up resetting that keybind to a button on my mouse just so I can crouch on the fly real quickly, and it made things a lot more smoother and easier for my overall gameplay when I was running out there trying to do things. Now, difficulty. A lot of people are talking about how they weren't able to run into players. Well, just looking at the reviews and stuff, a lot of people didn't even make it out of the tutorial area. It takes about an hour to make your way out of the tutorial. It takes about 3 separate missions just to get out of the low level perimeter. That area is low, low risk. When you first boot into there, you're pitted up against 3 other teams, so a total of 4 teams total. But as soon as you go to like Dire Marsh or Outpost, the heat is on. The bots are a hell of a lot more stronger, more aggressive, and you're gonna run into a lot more players, especially at Outpost. It's a enclosed area, so you're going to be fighting against teams real quickly, real fast. Literally within minutes of booting into Outpost, I was being attacked by other players. And now that segues into another aspect that people are complaining about, which I don't see too much of an issue. The TTK, it's extremely short. You can have full maxed out shields, full maxed out health, and you can go down in just a matter of seconds, depending where you're getting shot at. If someone is a demon out there and they're getting their headshots in, it could take about 3 seconds to completely down you. Then they'll run up and put a knife in your chest. There is a learning curve, so if your gunplay is not that good, you should really sharpen it because it's a little hard out there. The bots are extremely dangerous. They have crazy amount of abilities and their movement is wild. The Seekers are extremely dangerous, how they can make doppelgangers, they can climb on walls, they can go invisible, and they're packing heavy armor and they're also packing heavy weaponry. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. I was dying more by the bots than I was by players when I was playing. When I made myself to Dire Marsh, I realized that these heavy NPCs, heavy bots with the shields were literally everywhere, and it was a complete danger for me and my squad to go out there. And then on top of that, the players who were also doing the same objectives and missions that we're doing as well were also a danger. It's crazy. It's crazy. The gunplay felt really good, very familiar. The bots were strong. The NPCs were definitely a threat, more so than the players. But overall, it was just cool to go out there and explore and see what was going on while keeping your head on a swivel. Next up will be art direction. This game is graphically gorgeous. I know the video of the gameplay I have up right now is not doing it any justice because, as you know, when you're streaming or doing any type of video recording, there's compression rates, which does not show you the true values and definition of the video. When I was playing this game, I was wowed at how beautiful it was and how crazy the effects were, and just how smooth overall. This game ran really good for me. I was pretty much pushing 150 FPS with almost no dips. It was buttery smooth, and you know, this is supposed to be the server smash, so they're stress testing the servers, and even then it was just running really good. I enjoyed that. This game does have its own identity when it comes to its graphics. It looks like nothing else. Some people call it Roblox at first glance, but once you actually hop into the game and you go run around and do stuff, you'll learn real quickly that it's actually a very beautiful game. When I first looked at the game through trailers and stuff, I thought the very bright and vibrant colors were going to be hurtful to my eyes because I'm a little older, and so I told myself all of those really bright blues, yellows, and reds were going to be strenuous to my vision. But luckily it wasn't. I played the game and I wasn't hurting as bad as I thought it was going to be, and so that was a bonus. That was a double thumbs up for me that it wasn't hurting me that badly. Let's now talk about story. So this game, unlike other extraction shooters, does have a story. So what you're doing in Marathon is you are trying to faction up with all of the many factions that are available. I believe there's like 9 of them between Omni, Traxxas, and a couple other ones I can't pronounce because the names are weird. Each of these factions all tie into the main story of the game. You complete missions, you get cutscenes, and you just progress through and you unlock stuff as any other game as usual. That's what makes it different versus other extraction shooters like Tarkov and Arc Raiders. With those games, you bounce into the game, you loot, you shoot, and you run, and that's it. Having an actual story to the whole entire gameplay loop really does add a lot, in my opinion, which I enjoy. So that is a bonus automatically, or a tip up above the other 2 or whatever extraction shooters / BRs that are out there, just because there's more context to what you need to do and have fun with. But everything's not sunshine and roses with this game. There are a few negatives here and there that must be discussed that I hope Bungie actually fixes. So if any Bungie dev is watching this, please feel free to take this feedback and criticism, to heart, because the biggest issue I have with this game is going to be in the menu system. The UI in the menu system is pretty darn horrible. Maybe with some items, it will be better to cut the long item description and just put what it says automatically, because when you're out there and you're looting and shooting in a firefight, you don't want to be reading a paragraph long description of an item just to understand what it does. A lot of the items are like that before you actually get to what it actually does. There are a few items that has very small descriptions that has like a double tier level to it, where you're able to look and see what it does automatically, like the shield system, or I think it's called like a mod. I forgot what it's called. Little square thing you snip into your character that are character based. You can have one for your assassin, for your triage. They're catered towards your specific character. Those are very right to the point, which tells you what they do. But there's a lot of stuff out there in loot terms that may be a little hard for you to decipher while you're out there looting and shooting, that you may need for your faction, because these factions you're working for, they require some of these items, and you may not know what they need if you're not paying too close of attention. And then when it comes to the menu system, I feel like you can join some of the other menus together, because you're circulating through these menus over and over again, and some stuff should be right next to other stuff. So for example, like having your vault and your armory, it would be cool to have them in the same screen instead of having to swap through them. Maybe having your factions, your faction rewards easier to understand, because a lot of people probably didn't realize that if you click on your agent, then you can claim your upgrade rewards from your agent, but it doesn't tell you that. And then the same thing can be said about like your skins and your banners and stuff like that. It doesn't really tell you how to unlock those. It took me a little while to unlock those secret skins and stuff. They were in the codex. I didn't know that they're going to be there. Usually in most games, you don't go to the codex to unlock rewards. This game you do, apparently. I didn't know that. It took me till the end of the playtest to actually figure that out, because I was curious where they get these skins from. Well, there they were, hidden in a place where you examine items. And so just clean up the UI a little bit, and it'll be a solid runner out there for a lot of the people who want to play a new extraction shooter, especially since this is going to be one of the only multiplayer shooters that are going to be releasing in 2026. Overall, to sum things up, I had fun with the playtest. I know I put 20 hours into the game, and I enjoyed it. Those first 2 hours were a little rough and a little shaky, but once you actually got out of the tutorial area and made your way to Dire Marsh, to the outpost, it was a completely different game. Actually diving into the story, into the deep lore, and just having fun squatting it with people, I just enjoyed it. It was fun. This game may not be for everyone just because it does have a higher learning curve. It does take a lot of reading to understand what you got to do. Some people like to be hand-fed what they got to do, versus people who like to be more immersed in their gameplay and have their own immersion with their own discovery when it comes to how they do their missions and stuff like that. Like I said earlier, I'm someone who likes to discover things on my own versus it being hand-fed to me with yellow paint and green lights guiding me to where I gotta go. Like I said, it's not for everyone. If you're someone who needs those, then there's other games out there. But overall, I had fun. It's definitely going to be a cop for me. I'm definitely going to play it day one. It was fun. The server smash was cool. Like I said, the game run buttery smooth for me. I had almost no issues. Streamed it pretty much the entire time I was playing it. So yeah, other than that though, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about Marathon. Are you guys gonna be picking it up? Are you gonna enjoy it, or do you dislike it? Is it too childish looking for you, or is it just hitting that mark for you when it comes to the brand new extraction shooter, RPG, whatever you want to call it? But yeah, I am Big Bird. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Out.